Welcome back to another video, you juicy pineapples. Now, today's video, we're going to get into none other than Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Now, I'm very excited for this one. I know a lot of my content recently has mainly been based around MMA. It's just because there's not really much been going on around the boxing scene. There's fights being here, made, there, and everywhere, or talked about, but nothing really going on. Obviously, we've got the unified heavyweight division fight between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, which I will get into that again. Coming closer to the date, coming much closer. I believe it's a month away now. But anyway, back onto the topic. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Now, Canelo's record 63 2-2 versus Terence Crawford's record 41-0. Now, this fight is it's very hard to call because I feel like if it is in Terence Crawford's natural weight class, I think he smokes Canelo Alvarez. And I don't think that's quite far off it now anyway. The only problem I have is the weight. That is my problem. I know Terence Crawford is fundamentally, and if you go skill set for skill set, he's much better than Canelo. Even though Canelo's been around longer, around the deep end, Crawford is a much better boxer and technically much fundamentally sound than Canelo. I feel like he has more tricks and skills in his arsenal than Canelo does. The big factor is the weight going to play is it going to play a toll on Terence Crawford? He's not just bumping up one; he's bumping up two weight classes, and that's a pretty big step, and especially against a pressure fighter like Canelo. I'm not saying Terence Crawford probably hasn't ever fought at that weight, because he probably has. Let's be honest, he probably has fought at that weight before, whether it's a street brawl or whatever. I don't know. Terence Crawford does have a wrestling background as well. So when you come in from a wrestling background as well, that you generally do roll with guys that are like much bigger than you and much smaller, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles in that sport. I don't know. I think the early rounds are going to go to Canelo. I don't. It's frustrating. I do believe the early rounds are going to favour Canelo, just because I feel like Terence Crawford is kind of like a slow starter. He does tend to evaluate, and he does tend to hold off a little bit. He gets better as he progresses. Now, one thing that I will point out is that's going to stand out a lot in this fight is the lead hand. I feel like actually let's rewind. So Canelo obviously has got the two losses on the record: one to Floyd Mayweather and one to Dimitri Bivol. Now, if you look at both those fights, but mainly the Bivol fight, this is when Canelo was going up in weight and really being tested at that cruiser. And Bivol was just with his lead hand, just stopped Canelo pretty much wanting to do anything. Canelo couldn't really do anything. He couldn't get going. It was very one-sided. I mean, even though the judges said that there was only like 2 or 3 rounds in it, it's crazy, but it was a mismatch. I did have Bivol winning pretty much every single round, near enough, except from 2 maybe. But it's the thing. You're going to be fighting against a guy that's very. He can win rounds. He can win rounds by the judges. They give him rounds. Maybe they see something that everybody else don't. I don't know. Or I don't know. I'm not going to get too much into that. So you've got a guy that can win rounds. A slow starter like Terence Crawford, you don't really want to be giving up those early rounds to Canelo. You really don't, because you are going to end up finding yourself in a rat race towards the end. But I think that's how it's going to come down to. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's how it's going to be. Bud's going to lose the first 3-4 rounds. He might snatch 4. But I'm saying if 1 to 3 is going to be Canelo. I'll be very surprised if it goes any other way. But then we get to the point of what I said of Terence Crawford gets better as the fight goes on. I think from 3 or 4 onwards, I don't think Canelo wins a round after that. I generally don't. I think Terence Crawford will take him up there, providing the gas tank stays there with the obviously weight not playing a part. If the weight doesn't play a part and Terence Crawford performs how Terence Crawford performs, then I can see a stoppage. I can see a stoppage, but I feel like Crawford will want a stoppage, 100%. I mean, both of them will. They will want a stoppage, but I think Crawford will want that bit more, just to prove not only can I come up to your weight, but I can absolutely dominate you in it, and I can stop you in it. The skill set of Crawford is enough to beat Canelo on its own, but I don't know. A lot of these factors that Canelo had against him in the Bivol fight and the Mayweather fight, he doesn't have that problem against Crawford, whether it was a rehydration clause or a ring size or whatever. He doesn't have that against Crawford. So he has got his free reign in a weight class that he very knows much that he can perform in. So I don't know. I don't know. Me, personally, I'm going Crawford win. I'm going Crawford win. I think he's too slick. I think he's got too much going on, and that he has that same problem with that Bivol gave Canelo. That lead hand is too busy. He uses it for measurement. Don't get me wrong, which Canelo can. He very much can counter the pouring. So with that distance measurements that that Crawford will do with his lead hand, Canelo does like to rip those heavy body shots, those liver shots, and coming with the uppercut and then the left hook. He loves to do that, especially when you're pouring at him. He done it to Billy Joe kind of frequently. Like he caught him a lot from that lead hand. So if you're Crawford, you've got to watch out. If he's pouring and that's all he's doing, keep measuring distance, Canelo can catch him. He can catch him many, many times. However, if Crawford does stay busy on his lead hand like he normally does, and he can make you very much pay a big price for wanting to throw those body shots that Canelo will throw if he's measuring those distance with the lead hand. It's a good fight. I mean, if you're not staying around to watch it, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's going to be it's going to be a massive fight. And then you've got UFC Nosh straight after. Honestly, what more can a combat sports fan really ask for? I mean, you've got a huge night ahead, a very big night ahead. Let me know what you guys think. What's your opinions and predictions? Drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you're feeling. Are you siding with Crawford? Are you siding with Canelo? Or for whatever reason, could you be siding with a draw? I mean, it's completely. Or what are you gonna do? What are you going for? Who are you going for? What's your prediction? What's your outcome? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. I want to hear your side. I want to hear your opinions. But as always, thank you for coming across another video, and I'll catch you at the next one. But for now, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the next one. Whoosh.